In the upper left, beginning his comeback in that last game, he is
SK Telecom T1 Parting, 1-2.
What's so funny?
I'll tell you after this.
And in the bottom left here, the teal player.
SK Telecom T1 Classic, Kim Do.
I'm so angry about that warp prism, Tasteless, because like any way you look, first off, he didn't warp into DT for whatever reason.
Well, no, he tried to warp into DT the second time when he got caught.
Yeah.
When it was just too late.
He didn't do it right away. And here's the funny part: if you're going to warp it in at the warp prism, it doesn't matter where you warp it in, because your drop is going to happen at the exact same time. So why would you park it there? Why don't you fly over to the third and warp in there, or behind the third?
That was literally the worst spot.
No, if he flew it into the natural over the Nexus and tried to warp into DT, that would have been slightly worse. Not a lot worse, but slightly worse.
Well, we have both players here with mirror builds so far. That's an Angry Birds hat, I believe. Am I right?
No. I don't think so.
Am I wrong?
I don't think it's Angry Birds. Welcome, guys. Thank you for watching.
Yeah, guys, thank you for coming down. Hope you're enjoying the games. Probe scouting now here into the upper right. Yeah, I mean, we have Parting. Unfortunately for him, he's going to find his opponent in the last possible spot. And this map's pretty big, so that hurts a little bit. Let's see the scouting probe here. It looks like it's actually going to be headed northbound.
It does look like it.
Okay, so even though Classic scouts later, he's going to get in there first.
Yeah, and that's going to help. That's always nice.
Yeah.
It can be very frustrating as a Protoss player when this happens, when you scout them last and they scout you first. Especially when you sent out your scout a little bit earlier. It's like, oh, I even accounted for the possibility that I don't scout you right away. But such is life. Both players going for Stargates. Now, this is where it gets a little bit troublesome, right? Like, he's going to scout the Stargate. Parting is not going to be able to scout the Stargate. And this means it's like, here's the coin flip thing. Does Parting cancel it? And he does.
He does cancel.
Now, he should be throwing up a Twilight. That's like... Yeah, that's really the only thing that would make a lot of sense here is for Parting to go Twilight right now. Because if you see the Stargate, like, you either want to go for Phoenixes off your own Stargate or Blink Stalkers, right?
Yeah.
So, like, Twilight is a good counter to both those. So, see, he is going for the Phoenixes. It looks like Parting just wants to make the Nexus, which I guess isn't too bad, but...
No, I mean, he's going to try to get that fast. In case, because it happened really quickly there, guys, just to go back. One guy scouted the other one, and in PvP, since, there's a lot of different ways that you can kind of rotationally counter other players. When he was making that tech, he just, after he killed up for an insta-cancel, switching into a different tech route in the hopes that Classic would then be trying to respond to a tech that Parting wasn't going for.
Well, he's decided to expand, make a Sentry, and then go Robo. So this is really boding ill for Parting here. These Phoenixes...
This is a really, really risky play here.
Yeah. It's... he didn't get to scout what the tech was, as we saw his probe went in the wrong direction. So... this could be an issue for him, Tasteless. This is a Phoenix paradise right here.
Yeah, it looks like, unless, there's some serious miscontrol issues, these Phoenixes should just get in there and, wreak havoc. This is... Yeah. I mean, you can just see the low Stalker count.
And someone that's really good with the Phoenixes as well, what they can get done with this, like... I think back to Zest games where he's playing against someone who doesn't have the proper tech against his Phoenixes and what he can do in a situation like this.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Tough situation. So, does fly it in. Forces that Nexus cannon. But that means that, less energy, not going to be able to do it at the natural. Natural going to be something that doesn't get mined out of for a bit, and that's going to allow him to have his Nexus finish up and maybe even start mining before Parting gets to out of the natural.
Here come the Phoenixes up here now. I do like the one thing about the Parting did here was once he identified the Phoenixes were coming, he didn't use the other Nexus. He sat back and played it safe. I mean, it's a lesser player.
It feels gross, but you should.
It's actually the best way to go about doing it. Yeah.
you'd be spread far too thin, Tasteless.
Yeah. Well, you know, it's funny because now Classic's Nexus is up. He's been mining from it for a while.
And both players grabbing the forge here. Both of them going for the Robotech. But, you know, it kind of sucks his parting because he's not even really... See, he's trying to produce some probes out of the natural Nexus because it's, like, kind of okay if you don't mine there for a bit, if you keep your probe count up so that you can actually saturate it. But, like, only making probes out of one Nexus right now, because whenever you make them out of the second one, they die. Yeah, that's really rough.
So, really, the sand is running out of the hourglass here for partying. Oh, nice snipe there. Okay, now he's finally gotten that another expansion up, but Classic immediately darts in there and tries to snipe a few probes, successfully so.
Well done.
Yeah.
You know, you can trade a Phoenix at this point. It doesn't really matter.
No,
you don't
totally
have to have
fine,
those
yeah.
Phoenixes because your opponent doesn't actually have, like, dangerous tech.
Now 31 probes to 41 probes. So Classic, our teal player, in a considerable lead right now.
Yeah, it's a pretty big one for him. Well, let's see what Parting's plan is actually going to be from here, because as of right now, it's a tough spot to be in, right? Like, he's had to make all these stalkers that are not really that useful because he didn't go for blink tech, but he has to have them to defend against the Phoenixes right now.
Oops.
So just overall, his composition looking a little bit weaker than what he would want. His economy a lot weaker. He's down 11 probes right now. That's rough.
This is rough, man. And I mean, really, he's playing from such a deficit. By the way, okay, now he's putting probes in the gas. I was going to say, could this get any worse? He did take 2 gases in his mining from them. Like, this is pretty brutal. Well, as you can see here, Classic's got a very healthy operating base right now. What you do from here is you probe up a little bit more. You complete your tech tree. Oh, man. And Party now taking another blow here, losing all those probes.
Yeah.
Looks like he's almost stuck over here. But this is not enough to actually take out those Phoenixes.
It's hard to cover everything with 6 stalkers in a sentry. And the thing is, you don't want to make more stalkers, but losing these probes is pretty unacceptable as well.
Well, Zealot Legs is just now being upgraded. We're getting a good number of Immortals here. The Templar Archives has started. +1 attack for both parties is going to finish momentarily.
You know, I feel bad for Parting here. It's a rough situation because he took those 2 gases you were talking about earlier while low on probes compared to what he should have had.
Yeah.
Which gave him like way extra gas to bank, which means he's going to make more Archons than we normally see. But the fact that Classic is consistently producing Immortals which actually beat Archons, I don't know what like the extra Archon count that I'm expecting to see is going to do for him, right? Because he's sitting here on 400 gas, like he has to make more Archons.
Yeah.
I guess right now he's just saving feedbacks. He wants to nail these if possible. Probably should have baited those in a little bit more.
Yeah, that was an overreaction there. The third Nexus here.
Oh, going for Slice Storm. I like this from Parting. This is a good way to use some of that extra gas and the fact that his economy is wonky.
You know, that's a really good point. It's not like where we typically see him get it at this moment.
Yeah, yeah.
But
like,
he's definitely making like lemonade out of those lemons.
He certainly is. Well, we'll see what type of lemonade it is. Could be pink lemonade here.
Could
his
be.
blood all over the floor when his attack doesn't work.
Yes, pink blood. The cutest of all the bloods. I used to drink pink lemonade all the time when I was a kid.
Of course you did. You're from Kansas.
Yeah.
The land of pink lemonade.
This is so funny because it's true.
Yeah.
And I didn't even realize that. And you point out, I'm like, yeah, I guess I did.
Yeah.
You know, we like our lemonade in Kansas, man.
We drank American yellow lemonade where I was from, Tasteless.
Our Justice is like, in New Hampshire, we only drank Sunny D.
I loved that as a kid.
Sunny D. My mom would let me drink Sunny D, man.
That's a good parenting right there. We do have third Nexus going up for both players right here. The Army supply of Classic is grossly larger than what Parting has here. And, you know, a lot of this is just going back to the tech route that Parting chose and the fact that he just couldn't get his base mine.
Oh!
Well, that's pretty awesome.
This is a great side storm here, but, you know, Classic's just massive army here, and those 2 side storms not being at home.
Oh my
God. Classic, you might want to micro that away. Okay, so he's going to come in now, and this is...
You know, if he can hold here, then he's suddenly in good shape again because there's like no probes left. I don't know if that's going to happen, though.
I like the Zealous being warped in. I mean, dropped in over here in the back. This is so good.
Really cool. Warping in. Oh, he actually picks that off, though. Very well done. Side storms all over the place, but there are so many mortals left over.
Yeah, that's going to be GG. Classic
looks like it.
GG. Nicely done, partying. Or Classic.
Yeah. Well,
excuse me. Nicely done, Classic.
Classic does knock out parting. Definitely kind of gross series. Neither player really playing to their full skill.
There was a lot of bumps in the road there for those two guys.
Yeah. Parting, playing the part.
Well, Parting's not out of this yet. Parting will be going to the losers match, which will be our 4th best of 3 here. But interesting to see these two teammates duking it out against each other. How exactly they're going to play.
You know, I'm really excited actually for the next match. CJ Hero against the SKT1 Zerg Sue. Going to be absolutely fantastic here. One of the best players in the world right now for sure. But Sue, like, just completely on fire, looking almost unbeatable all the time. Like, and even when Zest beat him,
out of everybody,
Sue probably should have taken that series, to be frank.
Out of everybody, Sue is the guy that's just glowing with his confidence. I mean, I know that the trash talk is always a little bit friendly and spirited, but, you know, it's not really that brutal. But when you see Sue, I really genuinely believes that he thinks these guys actually are going to be easy to kill, and he's going to move out of the group.
Well, that's just how good Sue has played lately. 2 finals in a row. That's so sick.
We're going to go to a short break. When we come back, we're going to have a PVZ in just a little bit. Stay tuned.